Welcome to the final video for this course. And this video is about using information, which primarily means citing your information in a given style. So APA, MLA, Chicago, it may depend depending on your instructor and your discipline. So first, let's talk about the purpose of citations. I'm going to pull up a document here, and we're going to look at why citing is important. So, which of these three citations make it the easiest to find the original information? I'll give you a minute to think. Okay, it probably didn't take you very long to figure out that this citation is the easiest way to find this information. And this is actually an MLA style citation. So the reason why there are specific styles and ways to cite things is because you notice here there isn't a label that this is an author and this is the title and this is the journal. We just know that by the way it's formatted and where it is in the citation. So we know that if you know MLA style, you know that the author comes first, then the title in quotation marks, and then where you found it, the source in italics. And then the other information is labeled. This, you don't know if AJA is the author, or maybe the name of the journal, or maybe the article title. And the same with this, you don't know what that is because this is not in any particular style. This article or this citation gets us closer, but again it's not in any particular style, so we don't know which each of these elements is, except for the date. We can be pretty sure that's a date. So this is why we have specific styles and why it's important to follow them so that your instructor will know whether you were looking at a book or an article and that they know how to find that information if they want to read more about it. So some other reasons that we cite our sources is to avoid plagiarism. You can see here we have links to academic integrity tutorials that can tell you more about avoiding plagiarism. But if you cite someone's idea and you do not, if you use someone's idea in your paper and you do not cite them, then that is plagiarism. Even if you have already changed the words, if you use the idea, then you need to cite it. So citing is about the ideas and not the words. Now if you use someone else's words, you definitely need to cite that too and put quotation marks around it. But even if you're just using an idea, you need to cite it. Second, it's important to have citations and references because it can help your instructor find the original source that you used. And that helps build your argument. And they can look at the original source and see if it was high quality. And if you are using a high quality source because you learned how to evaluate information in the last video, then they know that you have a stronger argument because you used a high quality source. It's also nice that citations and references are a general practice in the academic community because when you're doing research, if you want to find more information about an article, you can go down to the reference list and you already have a full list of articles that you can look up to learn more about whatever that article was about. So to help you with So one thing that can be very helpful when you are making your citations and formatting your paper is a template. And we have templates for APA and also for MLA. So depending on your course guide and what style you're using, you can go to the Use tab and then scroll down and there will be a template down here in this box, this big long box titled Using APA Style or Using MLA Style. So these templates you can download and then take out things that you don't need, like an abstract or an author's note, and put in your information, and then all the formatting is done for you. So like the headers, the page numbers, the spacing, all of that is done for you. I also like to include a sample paper on my course guides. And not every course guide will have this, but I recommend finding a sample paper. The Purdue OWL is a good website to use. Find the sample paper for the citation style that you are using, and just go ahead and print it off and keep it, because it points out all these helpful things about each part of the paper and is a very handy reference. And then finally, I want to point out some similarities between the citation styles. It can feel kind of confusing at first because they all are a little different in where they want commas and periods, but there are quite a lot of similarities between them too. So for example, they almost always start off with who, which is the author. Then they usually move on to when. MLA does when later, but it's still included in the citation. And then what, the title of the source, and where you found the source. So that might be the publisher or the title of the periodical. So again, those elements might be in a different order, but almost every citation style is going to require you to know and to write down who, when, what, and where. So if you're not sure what citation style you're using, but you're starting to collect sources, just make sure you collect that information on your sources, and you will probably be able to build a citation in any style. So as always, if you have questions, feel free to reach out to me or your liaison librarian, and we would love to help you.